Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. So anyway, today we're going to get into something for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. We're going to get into the pedal board. I took a picture. The picture is there, available for you to take a look at to see what my pedal board looks like. So this is pretty much a lesson to talk about tone and talk about the different effects that a lot of guitarists use. So it may be for somebody that's already learned to play and you've got your guitar, you've got your amp, and now you're thinking of, what other effects do I need to really sound like the guitarist that I want to be like. So since when I started, it was mostly classic rock. Probably one of my first pedals was considered overdrive or distortion because a clean sound was not what Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Roy Gallagher, Johnny Winter, on and on and on. They weren't playing clean, okay? Clean, maybe guitar playing is more, country-like playing. Maybe even classical. Jazz guitarists, they don't use a whole lot of effects, not all of them. So I took a picture. I hope you have it that you can look at. And if you are, we're going to start on the right of my pedal board. Everybody has their own taste of what pedals they want to use. There's a lot of Boss pedals that are really popular. There's pedals that are called boutique pedals that are just brands that have come out that maybe have a higher cost because they have higher end parts and maybe they are a little above Boss. There's all different type of things that you can get into. And the best thing to do is to go to your music store and really try all the different brands, for what you want, whether it's a wah-wah or a chorus or delay. So the first one in my particular pedal board is the wah-wah, okay? Now this is my PRS 24, custom 24. And you can hear it's clean now. So what would the wah-wah do to a clean sound? Well, let's listen. So you hear that. So, is wah-wah being used these days? Well, I don't necessarily know all the top guitarists today, but it's not used as much as I think as it was in the early days of classic rock, where Jimi Hendrix used it all the time, Eric Clapton used it a lot, Terry Kath from Chicago, he was one to use it. When it got disco started out, there was a lot of songs that would have like that, just like scratching the guitar. So, anyway, a wah-wah pedal, if it's that type of music that you want to play, that would be a good thing to add to your pedal board. If you're not planning to play pretty old classic rock, it may not be necessary. Next in my chain is my Boss Chromatic Tuner, basically self-explanatory. So, I had gotten away from the Boss Overdrive, and I saw a blues artist, and they had something called a D&M drive, okay? That's what I'm going to play for you next. So that's clean, and I'm going to there's two different switches on here. So this is the first one. So that's one type of sound. There's actually another button, if you're looking at my picture, that you can actually do a boost, okay, to the drive. With the boost, it's this. richness in those two levels of drive and boost. I have another one that's not as saturated, not as heavy. It's called the Barber, another boutique direct drive. This is what it sounds like. And sometimes I will use that direct drive Barber, and then I'll put it on the actual drive of the D&M, another overdrive pedal, to get this. You know what? I had both boosts. I had the Barber on, I had the drive and the boost. So let me take off the boost and see what we got. So anyway, that was with the Barber and the D&M, just the drive, not the drive and the boost. Another heavy saturated I have is called the 73 Ram's Head by Vic Audio. And this is like a really heavy one that I don't use that often, but it can be used in certain songs like... Very saturated, you know, kind of a sound that Eddie Van Halen or all the hot guitarists that like to shred, like to tap. That's a kind of pedal that is more distortion, even though you can get a distorted sound from overdrive pedals, and when you stack them, this one is more for distortion and sustain. Next in my pedal board is my delay. That effect that is in different songs, different music, just a nice flavor for your tone. Different songs have that delay. This is the Boss Digital Reverb and Delay RV3 pedal, and I just use it for a little bit of reverb, okay? So clean reverb. Reverb. Next in my pedal chain is my flanger. I don't use that a whole lot, but like Stevie Ray Vaughan liked that, you know, in certain songs. So and last but not least is my chorus. that lush kind of really cool sound. You know, Jimi Hendrix used that, what was the song? So anyway, a chorus is another cool tone, another cool sound. Again, the top left is the power supply that is utilized to make all of the pedals work. I think I have one pedal that this power supply cannot give power to, and I have a power cord that, you know, goes to another spot off the board for power. So that's it. You know, any questions about tone? Any questions about different effects that you might want to use? Everybody's different. You don't need to have all these pedals, but if the music that you're doing has a need for this, and then there's all kinds of combinations I could be doing with the overdrive and the delay, or the overdrive and the reverb, or the overdrive and the chorus, on and on and on for all different sounds. You know, you may want your own unique sound, and you might just want to play clean all the time, like Robert Cray. He just likes that Strat sound from that certain pickup. But if you're in a band and you want to play 10 or 15 different guitarists, you need to have different effects. And sometimes the effects are in the amp, and that's cool also. If you have an amp that has different effects in it, that's another option for you to consider. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you keep coming back. Please subscribe, please follow, please watch my YouTube videos as long as you can. I'm really trying to get my watch time up so I can get involved with their YouTube partner program, where they actually will pay you for views and that sort of thing. If you need private lessons, I'm available. If what I have you like, and you'd like to send me a tip, just send me a DM and we'll work out what electronic method would be working best to do that. See you next time.